Vintage vacations, well, started by accident, to be honest with you, with one caravan in a farmer's field. We couldn't possibly use it enough times ourselves, so we thought, I wonder if anyone else wants to come and stay in one of these lovely Airstreams. And we put a little ad in a newsagent's where we lived in London at the time. And a travel editor from one of the nationals came and stayed, was one of our first guests, and did a lovely review. So the phone didn't ever stop ringing. So it changed our lives, really.
So you didn't set out with an idea to do something completely different in tourism?
Not in my wildest dreams. No, our previous jobs were a photographer and a stylist. I was the stylist. And we've been doing that for 25 years apiece, really. So I think when the opportunity for something new came along, it was the right time, and we just went for it. We already had a holiday home on the island, so we were coming over every weekend anyway. We then, the one trailer was practically rented out for the next summer. We thought, well, we'll buy another one. And then we had a kind of a light bulb moment, really, which was, wouldn't it be great to have a whole site of these? How fantastic. And then it all began, really. Obviously, we started immediately to try and get planning permission to find a site to do it on, which we've just now done after 6 years. We've got there, so that's amazing, because before we had to be on little 5 sites and just operate that way, which wasn't great. So now we're on a site with all 10 of them. So it started with 1 and they bred, and we've now got 10. And it's now our full-time jobs. The new site at Ashy is a beautiful field, and we want to keep it that way. So all that's going on is our 10 trailers, a small unit for toilets and a couple of spare showers, and then an old static caravan, a horrible one, that's been clad in wood, so it looks like a lovely cabin. Now, it looks gorgeous, you wouldn't believe. It looks like a contemporary, stylish pad that's just been timber clad. So we're using that as an on-site store and a little office on site. And that's it. Absolutely nothing else, because we just what we like and what our guests like. Don't need any swings, any play centres or anything like that. They just like it, au naturel. The Airstreams trailers were quite easy to find, to be honest. I mean, it's our 7th year now, so when we were buying most of them, we were really lucky because the dollar was practically 2 to 1. I think if we tried to do it now, it would be a different story. So it was just by chance, that was really. It was just a lucky timing for us. So no, they were very easy to find, because 70% of them that were ever made are probably still around, they reckon, and that's since the early 50s.
So was it the Airstreams that took you into sort of vintage and quirky, rather than thinking vintage, quirky and ending up with Airstreams?
Well, the Airstreams were a byproduct of being vintage and quirky, I suppose, because to be honest, that's our style. Well, perhaps more mine. I'm probably more vintage than Fraser, but that's just our own personal style, and I think that's part of the reason for it being successful, because we haven't tried to manufacture anything, it's just what we do. So I think, if you do something that you love and is honest, that people will appreciate that and like it. When we decided to move to the Isle of Wight full time, we sold our house in London, and we bought the Mission, where we are now, and a little beach hut and other things like that. And we're looking always for quirky places to add to the portfolio, because it gives it an all year round offer, which makes it better for us, obviously. And also better for people that will work for us too, because it gives all year round work as opposed to just a couple of mad months in the summer.
So which are your favourite properties? This
one, I think, just because it was such a labour of love, and we fell in love as soon as we walked in the door. It was like, I wonder if we can have it. But it doesn't really, although it is ours, because we don't live here, so it's exciting every time we come back again, really, and it doesn't really feel like it's our house or anything.
So did you acquire it having been a working mission hall?
It hadn't been used for about 20 years properly, so it had never been used for anything else, put it that way. And it just came up on Rightmove. There was no trick to it, it just was there on Rightmove one day.
And how much work did it take to make it is what we see today?
It took about 18 months altogether, from planning to completion, I think, the Mission. Yeah. With regards to the properties that we own, we've got the Mission and a beach shack. down at Thorness, which is lovely, and then the Airstreams. And then we have 2 other places on the books that are actually owned by other people, but have been given over to us to make over and rent out. We're quite fussy. We're very fussy about what we'd add to the portfolio, really.
So, just about talk about creativity. You obviously think very creatively about your market. Do you think the island's tourist sector is creative enough?
Well, the tourist sector on the island, I mean, I'm someone who's not trained in tourism, accidentally has ended up in tourism, but I am now fascinated. I'm really hooked and really interested in all aspects of the industry. And I think with regards to creativity, I mean, it's not for me to say that people need to put spotty curtains up or anything, but I think personally, there's far too many brown leather sofas. If you like pink, spotty, green ones, then fantastic, do that, because other people will too, and have courage in doing what you like, and other people will like it. So perhaps don't worry about so much good taste, be a bit mad. Perhaps there could be a bit more creativity in regards to marketing and with regards to the offer, and sort of thinking outside the box a bit with perhaps some people only want to stick to doing weekly lettings. Now, there's a big market for weekend breaks and weekly breaks as well. So there's creativity that side, and thinking of how you can stretch your season or make new bookings. But with regards to marketing tourism offer generally, I think it's a huge improvement. I mean, like I say, this is our 7th year coming up. When we first started, it was okay, and then it went through a pants period, and it was rubbish marketing and nothing much happening at all. In fact, one year, no advertising budget at all, I think. I think what happened last year with the ad water was much better, and having seen what they're going to be doing this year, I was quite impressed, considering they've got a cut budget. The type of advertising and marketing they seem to be aiming at, I think, is very good.
Tell me about your latest offering.
Well, I was so delighted to get that web name, jamboreebag.com, until I realised that nobody under 40 knows what a jamboree bag is. But there you go. I still like it. Everyone knows what jamboree. They always associate that with scouts and camping and that sort of thing. But the reason for starting a little offshoot was because we get now quite a lot of group bookings or corporate events and things like that, and it became too confusing to put that on the main website as well. So we decided to form the offshoot business, and that works on its own and does different sorts of things like weddings or parties or big corporate things or different things that we do. I think the vintage vacations offer and the jamboree bag thing are different, really. You come to vintage vacations for your family holiday or for a weekend break with your friends, but if you wanted to use what we do for your own event or use this for a wedding or anything like that, then you go to jamboree bag, I hope. I think the customers that come to us certainly like that quirky. I mean, a lovely client of ours was the fashion brand White Stuff, who brought all of their head office staff for a training couple of days here, and they all stayed with us, and it was a hoot, and they loved it. Yes, it was, and they appreciated all the silly dancing Spanish ladies and the baby sham glasses. So yeah, the way that bookings are looking already, I think we'll definitely see them. They won't compete, but they'll go alongside, because we use different locations for the jamborees as well. We're big fans of some of the old holiday camps here. We use those, and they're marvellous.